YouTube? It is Average Joe's Fantasy Football, and I've got you your first mock draft for the season. Now, I want to make this simple. I'm going to make it in order for you guys. Make it first, second, third, so on and so forth. All right, so we're going to be dropping some videos for you guys upcoming to help you guys get an idea of what you're seeing in a live draft. Again, this is going to be me versus the computer. What my thought process is on each particular pick and why I went that route, and hopefully help you guys align and kind of get in the right position. So if you have not done your draft yet, or at least know where you're going to be drafted, hopefully these mock drafts are going to help you guys out a lot. If you're new to the channel, please make sure you hit that subscribe button down below and hit the notifications as well, so that way you guys can get all the latest videos that are coming out. Again, we're going to give you one more last ranking drop right before the season starts, and of course we'll be doing your start and sits weekly to help you guys out. Hit the like button, greatly appreciated, and helps us out in getting our information spread out there through the YouTube algorithm. And again, if you have any questions, or if you just have, maybe you like what you saw, follow us on our socials. Make sure you check us out on Twitter, Instagram. That way we can, again, assist you, whether you hit us up in the DMs, ask us on our timeline, get you guys ready for your 2021 season. So, again, this video is really to help you, I guess, if you're the first pick. And now I do a 10-man league, which kind of gives you a little more robust league, team, where like some folks do some 12-man, and does make some changes there. And this is going to be PPR, okay? So I want to make sure you guys are aware. But I do a 10-man league. That's typically what I play in. I do play in a few 12, but I like the 10-man league a little more evenly, easy to spread out the money and stuff like that if you guys happen to be doing that. But I want to make sure you guys are ready for it. So if you guys are the first pick, this is a great video for you guys. And again, this is going to help kind of show what you're seeing the average draft position of some of these players are. You might be surprised at where some of these guys are going. You may not be surprised, right? So I hope this helps you guys out a lot. So I'm actually using Sleeper. Sleeper is actually one of my favorite apps to use. I've got a couple leagues in there. I know some folks do Yahoo, ESPN, NFL.com, different things like that. I'm actually going to use the Sleeper app and do the actual mock draft through there. Okay, again, this is going to be the first pick. So it's only going to be 60 seconds per pick. I don't like to drag these out. These are mock drafts. I already kind of have an idea where I'm going, what positions I'm kind of looking for, and why I'm going those routes. So we're going to make this very easy, make it nice and clean for you guys. So let's do this. All right, so I've got myself lined up. We're on the first pick. This is regular defense, flex, one quarterback. There are some leagues that do, dual quarterbacks, super flex, things like that. If you guys want me to do some mock drafts for that, please let me know in the comments down below. But I'm kind of keeping this as easy, clean, and simple for you guys. So quarterback, 2 running backs, 2 wide receivers, tight end, and so on and so forth. So we've got 6 bench on there. So I'm going to be the first pick, and I'm going to start the draft. Now, part of what I think about is running back, right? Running back's the first thing. There's obviously some very easy picks here, and I'm going to make it very easy. Don't overthink this, guys. Christian McCaffrey should almost always be your first pick. He was last year for most people. He should almost always still be. The other one I thought about has been Dalvin Cook, and I've done a couple mock drafts with that. But Christian McCaffrey in a PPR league is still the best option for you guys, and I want to make sure you guys still think that way. All about pass catching. Dalvin Cook is a good option. Henry, maybe, but he's more of a running back traditionally. Now, we're going to the swing part. This is where you can either go to a good receiver or continue that route with the running backs. Now, running backs are probably one of the hardest positions to continuously have. So for me, this is the swing route. You get 2 picks in a row. I'm going running back. I always think running backs being as hard as they are, they could also be trade value later. Going Joe Mixon. Joe Mixon, part of that is I like what I see coming out of the Bengals camp. They're talking him up. I do feel really good about him. He's got a lot to prove for everybody. Now, I could go a third running back, and I've seen some people go this route. They do the third running back to use as trade bait. For me specifically, wide receiver's big. Calvin Ridley is the first one I see here. Number 1 receiver. He did an amazing job last year. I'm going Calvin Ridley. Now, part of Calvin Ridley, if you look at last year, part of what he did was amazing. Even with Julio Jones in and out of the lineup, he did awesome last year. So I like Calvin Ridley. He was 5th last year in fantasy and PPR. Don't be afraid of him, even though Julio's gone. Matt Ryan's now, that is his favorite target. Now we're back to, again, our spot here. As you see, Look at some of this. Obviously, you see tight ends starting to go. The top three, no surprise there, right? Kelsey, Kittle, Waller. You're starting to see some quarterbacks going. I actually don't draft quarterbacks super high unless I really need to, and they're an absolute stud. These quarterbacks are great options for you guys. But for me, again, first pick, stacking it up. I'm actually going to go Keenan Allen here. Another great receiver. Last year, Keenan Allen was great, even though he had a couple nicks here and there. But I like Keenan Allen. Now, here's where you can go. Another good receiver. Now, remember, you've got to fill in a flex spot, okay? I could go another receiver and, maybe Chris Godwin, Cooper Kupp. I do like both those options. But I'm actually going to go another strong running back, David Montgomery. They're actually promising right now in the camp. 20-plus carries is what they're looking for out of him. And you know what? He proved he can do a lot of it last year. He was doing an amazing job, especially for those going into the playoffs. Now you're starting to see some of those quarterbacks again, right? Kyle Murray, who actually was amazing last year. Kyle Murray actually finished up second in quarterback PPR. So he's actually a really good steal in the fifth round. So I do like him a lot. Russell Wilson and Herbert, you probably get a little bit later, I'll be honest with you guys. You don't necessarily have to go quite that route. Now, here's where you're starting to see tight end is something that you may have to consider. And you're seeing two of them already in this round in the sixth. Tight end is definitely something you may want to consider. Now, looking at some of your options, if you look at the tight end option, a lot of these tight ends, as you see, average draft position, look at that. You could actually kind of wait some more rounds. Here's where I've got some good running backs. This is where I'm going Dak, okay? I've actually been eyeing Dak in a lot of my drafts. I'm actually 8th in one of my big money drafts that I'm in, and Dak has fallen to me a few times. Dak is a great quarterback option. He was on pace to probably be one of the top 3, if not number 1 last year, the way the Cowboys were playing. So I like Dak in the 7th pick, in the 7th round, excuse me. That's a great option there. So now I've got my whole, I guess you would say, starting lineup besides my tight end. Now you're going to start seeing a couple options. You see Noah Fant go in there. You got some good steals here with Chase Edmonds. I like him right here. Waddle's another good option, and even T. Higgins is another great option. So I like that right there. I'm actually going to go Dallas Goedert. I need to get a good tight end. You want to fill the roster first, unless there's an absolute steal on there. There really wasn't crazy steal right there. So I like Dallas Goedert. I could have gone Mike Gesicki, and I like Mike Gesicki a lot, but I wasn't quite sold on that. Now you got to fill your bench, right? So this is kind of some good studs that can fill in some of your bye weeks. Looking at these, I'm actually going to go towards the Jerry Jeudy route. I like Jerry Jeudy a lot. He did a great job last year. And part of that is, I believe, with Sutton coming back, it's just going to open up Jeudy a lot. And again, receivers actually do a great job coming into their sophomore year. So don't be too afraid of some of these sophomores that are playing this year. I have some really good high expectations. All right, so you're seeing a lot of receivers coming here. Some of these receivers are some really good options. Will Fuller, obviously dealing with suspension, but good option there. I like him. Robbie Anderson. Robbie Anderson is a great receiver. Obviously, you got a different quarterback he's familiar with, right, with Sam Darnold. So I do like that option there. Now you're looking back here. Again, some options. Fill in the bench. I like Deebo Samuel as a great option here. Yes, I went wide receiver. Another part I want to fill in is running back. I actually like Damian Harris. If you guys haven't been paying attention to the camp, Damian Harris is a great option. The Patriots absolutely love him. As a steal at the 11th round to add to Christian McCaffrey, Joe Mixon, and David Montgomery. So again, this is all about your bench here. You're not trying to, find like the guy. What you're looking for are some great fillers for bye weeks, possible injuries that are some starters that you're getting at a good position, okay? So now we've got a lot. We've got 5 receivers so far. We've got 3 running backs, 1 quarterback, 1 tight end. Kickers and defense, you don't need to be starting pick here. So now it's just value. Again, all about value. I actually like, in these, if you look at some of these options, I like Devontae Parker here, a starting receiver on the outside opposite of Will Fuller. I know Will Fuller's going to get a lot of attention in Miami, but I like that. I know it's a lot of receivers there. Most leagues cap you out at 6. Some of your leagues might have a little rule. Maybe it's only 5, but 6 is kind of where most leagues are going to cap you. So now you start looking at some of these other options. I actually like to get a second tight end. If you look at the second tight end, the guy who always kills me every single year when I talk about my start and sits, Evan Ingram. He is a great pick right here. I still have so much high potential, even though I am a Cowboys fan. I don't like those Giants, but Evan Ingram is one. If he were to start catching some of those balls, he's a great one here. Again, you're starting to see some of those tight ends again. Robert Tonyan, great option. Again, you get these guys super late. Don't draft too high on some of these tight ends unless you get the top 3. Kelsey, Kittle, Waller. Don't go too crazy on tight ends. You can get some really good options later in. All right, so now I got to go kicker defense. I actually like to go defense first. These are some of your options. I actually like the Colts, one of the better defensives out there. I like that team a lot. They've got a great defense. And then you got a kicker, our boy Coop, amazing kicker. Love that I can get him here. Kickers are somebody you don't have to worry about. You know, again, these guys right here, this is where the end is where you got to draft these guys, okay? So if you look at, draft is pretty quick. Don't waste a whole lot of time in this. Kind of think quickly. Think about what you got. Have a game plan going in. So if, as the first pick, you've got a great option of getting a really stud running back. McCaffrey is, again, a great option. I know you look at this lineup. The only other person besides McCaffrey I was really kind of leaning towards was Dalvin Cook. I know some people would go Kamara, and Kamara is nothing wrong with that. Again, as a PPR league, being that he's around the 100 ball mark as far as targets go, Kamara's a great option. He actually finished number 1 last year in PPR. So, again, he is a good one, and that was with McCaffrey being hurt. He's still the number 1 guy. As far as PPR goes, as far as running backs go, McCaffrey's the guy. So we start seeing some of this, obviously, again, all great running backs here. Nick Chubb was a little one. I was kind of surprised as high as he went. 7th isn't super high, but I've been seeing him kind of fall into the end of the first, possible early second. And then when it goes back through, you got obviously see the top receivers going through. So for me, at the first pick, I'm going another strong running back. Because I still like what I've got as far as my receiver options. Calvin Ridley and Keenan Allen are some great options. They're the number 1 guys on their team. You got some teams that are struggling a little bit on the defensive side. And that's some things I think about is, okay, well, if they're going to play catch-up, what's going to happen? They're going to pass the ball a lot. Herbert's got a great connection with Keenan Allen, and Herbert's going to be jumping a lot into this second year. And Ridley showed a lot without Julio what he was capable of. And I believe, and truly do believe, he's going to continue that option there. Like I said, you're going to see some of your top 3 tight ends. Don't draft too high. I know you see a few like Pitts, Andrews, Hockenson. I think Pitts is a little too high here. I don't think he's a 5th round option. I think he should be more in the 7th, 8th possibly. You're going off potential from his rookie into his rookie season. But again, you got some really good. This is where I say this is where you win your leagues. Okay, this is from just my own experience and things like that. You start to win when you start looking at round 6 through 10. These are where you're going to get a lot of your depth, a lot of your bye week fillers, some of your diamond in the rough. Sometimes you get some great rookies. Like in my past time, like last year, for example, alone, I picked Justin Jefferson in the 15th round. Okay, 15th round, and I also got James Robinson really late. Those are where you get some of these players that you're like, wow, man, they're still here and nobody really knows about them. That's what we're here to help you guys get the right players. Now, I didn't go super heavy in the, besides this rookie right here, I didn't need to go crazy. I did get a nice little rookie right here in Chase. I think he's going to be an option that will be fantastic for Burrow. But other than that, I didn't really go heavy in the rookies this year as far as the first pick goes and just kind of how this kind of fell through. I got my quarterback Lay, who's a great starting quarterback, easily a top 5 fantasy quarterback. Didn't have to draft him early like you got Mahomes, Jackson, Murray. These guys, again, you're definitely going to see these guys kind of fall early. These two could probably get a little bit later, and you see Lawrence. I'm surprised in this computer program that it put Lawrence in the 7th round there. I don't think that is... I don't know. Let me know in the comments. I don't know how you feel about having someone draft Trevor Lawrence in the 7th round in your fantasy. So, and then this is, again, where you're picking all your depth. Great tight end for backup. Got some good receivers. A good running back in Damian Harrison. So this is kind of my thought process when you go into these mock drafts. Make sure you have a game plan going in. Think about possible solutions of if you don't get your guy, who is your second guy? Just like in real life, what does your draft look like? How is this going to go planned? Know where you are in the position. Make sure you do these mock drafts. That's why I want to make sure you guys get these videos out there so you can at least kind of see what you're seeing out there, what we're seeing in these average draft positions for you guys. That way you can have a better idea and game plan. You're going to have to do this several times. I do at least 2 to 3 mock drafts a day just for personal use. So that way I can give you some great insight, help you guys figure out where's some good options, where you can get some good steals, kind of hold off on drafting some players. So I appreciate everything you guys have done as far as following this channel and watching these videos. I appreciate you guys hitting those like buttons and following us on social media. I hope this mock draft for those who are picking first helps you guys a lot. Helps you get some insight on what's going to happen to a possible draft for you guys upcoming. If you are in the first pick, but you kind of want to have an idea of what things going on, make sure you follow us. We're going to be dropping their second, third, and so on. We'll be dropping those every 2 days. So just make sure you have the notifications on and you are subscribed to this channel. Again, follow us on our socials. Ask away. If you have questions, football season's coming up before you know it. And again, I want to thank you guys so much for watching this, and I'll check you out next time.